Sleep last night because the trauma. My mom was crying. My dad rushed to call 911. My sister came and told me it was gonna be okay and started crying.
These are the interviews that really just break your heart. We're beginning to hear from some of the children that were at Wednesday's Chiefs Super Bowl parade. It was a day that was supposed to be a day of celebration, but instead turned to terror. With this happening in Missouri, where gun regulations are slim, tonight some state lawmakers want to loosen rules even more. That shooting in Kansas City happened to fall on the 6th anniversary of the deadly mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, which is one of the deadliest school shootings in U.S. history. Tonight, a survivor of that shooting is speaking up, hoping to strike a push for change right here in Missouri.
But there is hope. After Parkland, we showed up and demanded action. We got thousands of people to go to our state capitol that was controlled by Republicans, and we were able to pass gun laws there with a Republican majority in both chambers and a Republican governor. But the key is we showed up. You've got to show up to even have a chance to do this.
As part of tonight's cover story, our Missouri Capitol Bureau Chief Joe McClain explains there is a change in you, the voter, which could change things in Missouri when it comes to guns.
There are actually several bills in the Missouri legislature right now that would increase gun safety regulations in the state, but they're all filed by Democrats, and they're not likely to go anywhere in a legislature that's heavily controlled by Republicans who say these policies are not needed.
The only way it is likely to happen is if we actually get the momentum behind a ballot initiative, gather the signatures, get it on there.
Democratic State Representative Peter Meredith said he doesn't think Missouri's General Assembly will strengthen gun safety measures even after a mass shooting at a major national event in the state. 2 teens have now been charged with firing shots, which authorities believe started with a simple argument.
What makes it different in a state like ours and in a country like ours is our gun worshiping culture and the fact that we have such lax gun laws that every fight in a public place, it suddenly becomes a gunfight.
But those laws are not likely to change from Jefferson City. House Speaker Dean Plocher getting peppered with questions Thursday, eventually storming off.
Sorry for those that have lost their lives. They're heavily weighed on our shoulders as we saw what happened, and as that unfolds, we'll have greater comment.
Missouri law prevents local cities, municipalities from enacting stricter gun regulations. Why?
Yeah, we're moving on. I already addressed that.
What ordinance? Why should Kansas City not be able to enact?
Thank you.
And in Washington, D.C., Missouri Congressman Mark Alford on Thursday brushing off the idea.
We don't need more gun control in America. We need more self-control. And that's what was lacking yesterday.
I spoke with David Hogg, who survived the 2018 mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida. He's been one of the most vocal advocates for national gun reform in the years since.
There is hope. After Parkland, we showed up and demanded action. We got thousands of people to go to our state capitol that was controlled by Republicans, and we were able to pass gun laws there with a Republican majority in both chambers and a Republican governor. But the key is we showed up.
In Missouri, voters could have a chance to pass gun safety measures on the November ballot this year. 6 versions of gun safety policies are currently gathering signatures. They include requiring concealed carry permits, requiring background checks, and imposing red flag laws. In Jefferson City, Joe McClain, First Alert 4.